Well, welcome, Faris.
Thank you.
I appreciate you joining us for our People of Mulgrave. We found out about your Stream Keepers Club and thought that it would be something the community would be interested about finding more about. So would you care to tell us a little bit about the Stream Keepers Club?
Yeah, so the Stream Keepers Club was developed in order to monitor the affected development on the local stream that's just adjacent to Mulgrave. So in mid-grade 10, me and Mr. Moore decided to create this club based on the ecological need at Mulgrave, where there was so much development happening around the school with the new housing development as well as construction within Mulgrave. We wanted to see how this was impacting the stream and the environment. In order to do this, we both did scientific tests in terms of like pH, conductivity, etc., but as well as just like looking at the ecosystem, wondering why, whether like flow rate increased or or looking at local populations, looking at the actual ecology in the stream. So that was mainly our goal. And to date, we have a few grade 8s that come down with us, and we do the test. They enjoy it. We teach them about the environment. It's just a fun opportunity.
So that seems pretty exciting because were you thinking that when you started that it would turn into a long-term club, or was it more a project?
Yeah, so just because it's like based on scientific data, I knew it would be like long-term, and I knew I needed someone to carry it on for me after I left Mulgrave, which is what these grade 8s want to do. But with it, I didn't realize the extent of which I would be impacting these kids in terms of setting them with this ethic of the environment, instilling this within their minds, promoting the environment within them, and essentially making the environment a bigger deal in the sense of awareness than it actually is in prevalent student body right now.
That's fantastic, and I can tell because that's really what really struck us is the level of interest, the fact that you've actually collected some very important information and important data. So actually, tell us a little bit more about that. What have you found has caught your eye?
Yeah, so in terms of scientific processes, just because we've been monitoring data for a year, it's not necessarily enough to make trends because we have to do it for multiple years. But in terms of like visually seeing these abiotic and biotic formulas, I can tell you that apparently before I came, there were students who used to go down, and apparently there used to be a huge frog population. Currently, I've only seen one ever since I've gone down there, and obviously I can't necessarily introduce a whole new species to this ecosystem, but by creating awareness and this education of the environment of the kids that I take down to the stream, I believe that can just help the environment, because then I'm spreading the word about the environment, showing them how they can help. And then they too can carry this message on to the kids that are in grade 2 or 3 that they'll one day when they're in grade 12 take down to the stream. And hopefully it's this reciprocity, this idea of carrying on this ethic of the environment. And hopefully that's what I really want to make my impact in, not necessarily just hardcore introducing a frog population or fixing development, because that's nearly impossible. But in terms of education awareness, slow and gradual change, I think, is best.
That's great. So then does it follow that let me ask, in 5 years' time, when you come as alum to our, say, alumni basketball game in December, what do you hope to see the club have achieved?
Yeah, so one of the big things I want to see is, in terms of club membership, just I want to see it grow. But with that, even if people aren't in the club, I want them to be aware of it. I want them to be aware of the environment and the importance of the environment. Because oftentimes it's a thing that's been pushed aside in terms of other things, whether it's the economy or just etc., whatever. I want the environment to be more of a prevalent issue that people are talking about. Because right now in Mulgrave, there's green team and there's stream keepers, but no one really talks about environment. There's recycling bins everywhere, but how many people actually do this? I want to see something implemented within the minds of the student body of Mulgrave about the environment. And that's where I really hope. That's what I really hope to want to happen in 5 years' time. That the environment is a more prevalent issue.
That's a great cause. So is science and environment something that you're interested in pursuing as you move into university next year? Yeah.
So before it really used to be. Not necessarily now, because my interests keep changing, but before, I still have my passion for the environment. It's not necessarily something I would want to pursue, but before, I really wanted to go into environmental economics, essentially evaluating various projects and both evaluating the pros and cons of the environment side and the economic side, and either compromising or saying whether it would be worth it to build a pipeline here, to build a bridge here. So that was something I was really interested in, something that's both interdisciplinary in terms of the science as well as the business and the economy. And so I was really interested in that. Currently not anymore, but I would love to see it pursued, love to see it more implemented, because it is a growing job perspective. It's a growing job career that would be great even for some of the kids in the club right now.
Got it. So what do you see yourself doing then now?
So along with Stream Keepers right now, I'm doing Human Rights Club. Me and my best friend Isabella, we run it together. So that's so essentially just because of all these things that I do, one thing that I really realized that I need to do, that there's 3 things that I really need to have in a career is that one, I want it to involve sciences because that's like my logical side of my brain. That's the part I love. But I also have my creative side, which is like my arts, English, all that. And I don't want to really drop one for another. So that interdisciplinary career, that's what I really want to focus on. But then the third thing that I've like recently just realized like last year was that I really like helping people. And it's not only because that fuzzy feeling you get because of service, but actually going into that as a career, I feel I can do so much more than just focusing a little on the side. As volunteering, it's not necessarily about the money or it's not necessarily about that. It's about actually helping people, getting that feeling inside you. So those 3, the science, the arts, and the helping people, that's something I really want to focus all together and go into.
That's incredibly ambitious, but something tells me you'll make it happen for sure. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
I thank you for your time, and we look forward to sharing more information over the years about the club.
Yeah, for sure.
Take care.